In the past 4 years, I built a 12K month solo coaching business in a bit of a non traditional way, considering the online world that we live in. I have grown almost purely through offline methods by connecting with people on a deep level at in person events and through what I call old school relationship building. I have joined networking events and afterwards connected with genuine curiosity. I have created transformational events and masterminds combining hypnosis and breathwork and embodiment experiences. I've facilitated also practical workshops on how to build successful businesses. And in those real world situations, people have been able to feel my energy and the way I yap about things. And as a result, they have decided to jump on a mentorship journey with me. And I've witnessed something in the market that I'd like to share with you today. There's a new wave of entrepreneurs being born into this world right now, and they don't necessarily follow the standard rules of how to build success. They are the ones who are turning their uniqueness, their medicine, their authentic genius into something that translates into a really powerful vehicle to attract their aligned audience once just tuned right. And for ages, business schools and coaches have taught entrepreneurship pretty much the same way, to follow the model of what I call the opportunity economy, to look for a market gap, find an existing problem, figure out a solution to it, and then scale that opportunity to the fullest extent. Often for the simple purpose of just making money because, well, capitalism still does run the world. And while most entrepreneurs are still building businesses this way, especially with the whole AI craze going on, obsessed about the maximum level of money grabbing, there's another breed of authentic creators emerging as a response to all of that. They are the drivers of what I call the resonance economy. Conscious experts, transformational guides, visionary leaders who have transformed something deep within themselves or turned their natural gifts into a high level of genius that people feel just naturally attracted to. When people witness them, they feel a deeper intuitive resonance with their energy and in the way that they see things. And while almost everyone else is busy chasing those AI tools and ready templates that they can just copy paste to their business, I've noticed that the old school scarcity and price play tactics feel almost allergic to the intuitive crowd. So they have chosen to create their businesses by not looking at what the competition is doing, but figuring out what feels true to them and the way that they want to run their business. And even more so, what makes them authentically uncopyable in the market. Because they have packaged their story, their wisdom, their unique energy, their heart's calling into something that they love to do instead of something that they have to do for the sake of money. They have chosen to play their own game, not looking at what others do, but mastering their own craft, and to finding play and ease and enjoyment in their way of running their business. And in this day and age, that's what's going to really set you apart. And the reason is super simple. The whole creator economy is completely saturated, especially because of AI. It's full of the same. Creators and educators are just copying each other to get ahead of each other. People are using the same hooks and the frameworks and the content and building the same courses. And it's really rare that someone actually sits down with themselves to discover, who am I and what's my signature expression and offering. And all of this comes from an entrepreneurial model where people create businesses only for the purpose of opportunism, survival, status, and to belong into the world that they choose to live in. Now, that model can definitely make money, but it rarely equates to true fulfillment, purpose, and inner freedom. And it's easily witnessable in the world that we live in. There's a meaning crisis going on that more and more people are experiencing. Even high performing leaders and CEOs are going to ayahuasca and vipassana retreats, causing thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars trying to find relief of that inner void or inner turmoil that's formed from a lack of connection. And that's what people are really searching for, connection. They are craving for depth and heart and authenticity. And the truth is that I feel that you have been sold an insidious lie your whole life, that you cannot make money by following your inner guidance, your excitement, your interest, what truly lights you up. It's a fool's game, they say. It's a pipe dream. But these are the things that make you unique if you really think about it. Because when you do create something that's driven by an authentic pulse, Your life experiences, your trauma, your healed wounds, the high level of expertise you've built in one area or a couple of areas, the aspirations that you have to become something, to be something. You're following a pull from your soul, which is just directing you to something that's unmistakably you on a deeper level. That's when you differentiate without any effort, any forcing. And the question you ask yourself related to what business am I here to create, it changes from what's the business I should build to make money to what's being born through the uniqueness of who I have become and what I'm becoming. And then your personal story of how you've transformed your childhood trauma into a gift to heal others, or how your corporate life helped you to master the realm of business so that you can mentor nonprofits to actually help on a bigger scale, or how that one difficult 7 year long relationship gave you a master class in attachment wounds, conscious relating, dealing with really difficult emotions, and it's now allowing you to help couples reconnect on a deep, intimate level. That stuff is pure gold. And when you bottle up that knowledge, that wisdom, that awareness, things like credentials and certifications, they are thrown out the window because your lived experience gave you the perfect blueprint to guide and help others. And I've noticed it again and again that some of the greatest guides and coaches and mentors that I have worked with and that I have just witnessed in my surroundings, they don't have the most certifications. They're just so deeply embodied in their own transformation that it transcends any base level knowledge or intellect. And so far, I have had the pleasure of working with over 200 entrepreneurs, either in one on one or group containers, to bring their authentic energy back. Their inspiration, their flow, their unique genius zone, their natural money energy, so that they can build their businesses from more alignment, ease, and enjoyment, and to make money the way that they were designed to make money, not based on what someone else told them to do. And those who have chosen a meaning driven path to business, I know that there are some doubts that have been kicking in. For example, who am I to guide, coach, or lead anyone? And the blind spot I notice for many is that you have most likely been doing some free work for people already. There might be a clear pull towards certain type of work that's really meaningful to you, or at least more meaningful what you're doing right now. And some of the things that you've disregarded as natural to you is something that someone else is already charging for. And usually the question changes from who am I to lead or guide others to am I willing to step into the version of myself that charges for my true worth and takes up the space that I deserve in my heart of hearts? Can I actually make a living out of this? And I'll be honest, after helping countless of coaches, guides, experts to create offers and build something that sells, I can say that almost anything can be packaged into a service that someone else will buy. You just might need some proper guidance on how to, precisely craft your messaging to the right people. And then it's simply about getting out of your own way to put the message out there to as many eyeballs as possible. How do I translate my complex skill sets, gifts, and knowledge into an offer? And I would say that that unique culmination of your life experience, skills, and wisdom, they become the offer. Your experience in, for example, financial strategy and your obsession with human design, they are a match made in heaven. Your certifications as a breathwork coach and your 15 years of creating electronic music, that's your absolute magic in action. Your lifelong passion for art and your university studies in therapy combine into a real superpower for emotional subconscious healing when you combine the art and the therapy together. How do I sell without feeling like I'm forcing myself or pushing others? I believe that the way you do sales, marketing, and content creation should feel like it's designed for you, that it feels enjoyable. And very often I've noticed that the problem isn't actually doing all of those things. It's how you relate to the things. It's how you relate to email sending. It's how you relate to content creation. It's how you relate to the act of sales, for example. And I will say that all of those things are just, in the end, you going through your own inner work journey to understanding how you can change and shift your relation to those things. And then comes down to the path of actually using tried and true principles on how to, for example, sell your services that resonates with your ideal clients, how to message in a way that doesn't feel inauthentic or forced, and, for example, how to enroll people into group programs or mentorship by making it feel like you're serving, not selling. And the difference is huge between those two. Serving comes from an expanded sense of just wanting to help another person. Selling comes from a need, maybe even desperation. And that's a huge difference. That's a huge shift to go through. And I can really feel all of these inside of myself, these questions, because I have gone through them in my own life. And I have noticed also my clients going through the same patterns as well. And I would say that there's some magic in that when you are building something from your own experience. Your own story becomes the thing that builds trust in your audience. Your own truth is what drives people to you when you speak it authentically and clearly. And my truth is that I was doubting myself almost every second day when I started my coaching practice in 2022. Before that, I worked inside multi-million dollar startups on the executive level, working 10 plus hours building someone else's dream. And I learned a lot, especially about business, about leading other people, how to do marketing, how to understand sales psychology. But the most important realization was how I didn't want to live my life. Because having a six-figure yearly income, it cannot ease the misalignment and the emptiness that I felt in the pit of my stomach, or the anxiety and the constant pressure that caused me to have sleepless nights. And at the time, I didn't know any better. Like, I thought I was actually living the good life. I was a bit over 30. I was living in Finland, where I'm from, with an executive level salary, having a vibrant social life, or at least semi vibrant, going to the gym 5 times a week and traveling to different parts of the world, maybe every 4 months or so on the company money. But internally, I was feeling like this just wasn't it. I was meant for something different. And nothing really clicked until I had my own spiritual awakening in 2022. That made me take the decision to quit the startup that I was a partner in and start something of my own. And in just 3 months, I built an offer for myself that felt something that I really wanted to put out there for my coaching practice. And I ended up signing my first client for $12,000. It was a year-long commitment with my first client, and I realized that when I took on that journey, that was the point when the real work actually started. Because I was still progressing in my own internal work. I was still going through my own trauma healing process. I was going through to hypnotherapists, and I was also doing hypnotherapy myself. And then I realized that there was also like a little bit of an alignment hunting going on there. So I started an insane pivoting period for the next 2 years, because I started my practice mixing hypnotherapy, NLP, manifestation practices, and then creating done for you business materials. I called it vision hacking. And I moved to deep somatic coaching, trauma work, and then helping people release trapped emotions. Then after that, I worked purely as a spiritual guide for a half a year, guiding people through their own spiritual awakening journeys, doing past life regression hypnosis, and so on and so on. And moving through all of those phases, I created probably 20 to 30 different offers in the span of 3 years for one-on-one coaching and different group containers. And I always try to niche myself down into something that's more palpable, something more understandable. I trusted the business advice that I was taught in university studying business. You need to narrow down your offer to a niche, and your business will be successful. And that's what I did until I realized I didn't want to shrink my service anymore. So I ended up integrating it all into one mentorship practice. And today, I combine freeing the body and the mind from your fear and sabotage patterns, rooting the nervous system to confidence and safety, embodying a higher level of identity that makes the universe bow to your conviction, and also mastering the science and arts of business. But the biggest shift in my business didn't come from choosing that I will stop niching down myself, uh, although that was actually a really big moment. It was when I stopped undervaluing myself and discounting my services because I was afraid sometimes to really lose a client opportunity, even though I was doing fine. And I did some deep internal work in that realm, in that spectrum, in the span of like 4 months or so. I did like a very very dedicated protocol for myself, and I ended up moving from charging from 1 month to 2K a month, and to three, and finally to 4K a month, which I currently charge for my one-on-one mentorship. And that really shifted things for me because when I decided to raise my prices, I also felt this pull to up level the way that I sell and serve people as well. I wanted to create better client results. I wanted to have higher fulfillment. I wanted to really delight my clientele in a way that they haven't never been before. And I wanted to really master not just my skills as a transformational guide, but also as a businessman in sales and marketing in every way. And today, I've been blessed enough to work with hundreds of conscious guides, experts, and leaders over the past 4 years. And now my mission is to help impact led creators turn their authentic genius into a profitable business that leads them to a life of freedom, flow, and prosperity. And this video is an invitation for people to join a new way of doing business where authenticity, real embodiment, and non pushy, non performative marketing methods rule, where a profitable business can be created without you shrinking down your medicine, where you don't feel like you're a slave to your business anymore. And you market and sell with ease and enjoyment, not forcing. And I really feel that's where the magic sauce lies in cutting down the performance, the pretense, and rooting yourself to pure honesty and authenticity related to where you're at. That makes people to trust you and to buy from you because more and more people are seeing through the performance of others. Conscious buyers are smarter. They want truth, not a false image. And especially because of AI, people are looking the same, they're feeling the same. People are craving to feel the human behind the video. And that's why I believe that authenticity is the new currency of the next generation of creators. People want to feel that the person in front of them is genuine, is real, it's honest. And that really comes from extracting what I call your authentic genius. To discover who you are underneath the stories that you have adopted from your past, the society, and your peers, even the peers that live with you right now. And then building a business that looks and feels exactly like you. And it's really a practice of unbecoming before stepping into the purest level of becoming, which is becoming the you that you were always meant to be. And it's a rediscovery of what makes you feel alive and as a result, incredibly magnetic. And deep down, you may feel it and know it that your authentic brilliance is meant to be the source of your income. That it's actually the gold mine that's just sitting there inside of you. And that's why I created Scale Your Genius. It's where we translate your unique genius into a business that's not only profitable, but it feels actually enjoyable. It's a space where your inner artist and your inner entrepreneur, they play together in harmony. I intend to create really a space where you can discover what your business looks like and feels like when it's built your way, tailored to your unique blueprint of building a profitable and aligned business. And that's why I referenced in the beginning of how I've gotten where I'm at. I built my business by not following a business coach's perfect plan, although I have been sold those in big ways. But I built it my way. I through on in-person connecting and God honest relationships. And now I'm also jumping into the online game because why not? But that's why I often say that there's no one magic bullet way to build a successful business. Everyone does it in their own way. And there's definitely some tried and true steps and awareness that make success more predictable. So inside Scale Your Genius, I've included the skills, knowledge, and methods that I have helped my clients create over 10K month businesses that feel very much authentic to them, aligned to them. We not only focus on crystallizing positioning and to precisely target the people that you want to serve, you're meant to serve, but we focus deeply on the identity level, how your self-worth, mindset, and ability to think bigger for yourself and your clients really moves the needle. And we'll also take a look at the way I've synthesized something I call magnetic sales secrets that work both offline and online, no matter what path you choose. And on top of the business resources, I've also created resources for people who are going through their inner work. So, hypnosis journeys, NLP activations, when you're struggling with visibility, self worth, self sabotage, getting into flow with creation, rewiring your money mind to prosperity, and so on. And so that you can truly design the kind of business that you want, I am really dedicated to having one on one success path calls with everyone who joins right now. That'll help us determine what your dream business actually looks like and how you'll get there with my help and the support of the community. And our goal for the first 90 days is to add minimum $5,000 in new clients to your business. As long as you already have a business and clear gifts, some clear expertise that you feel brings considerable value to others and it feels true to you. At the 6 months mark, we'll bring you to making consistent revenue from 5,000 up to 15,000 a month, so every month. And within a year, you'll be running a fully sustainable business that's optimized for your lifestyle, your dream lifestyle, and that supports especially time and location freedom. And my ultimate goal with every client that I work with, be it inside the community or in one on one relationships, is to help people create a business where they can only focus on their genius zone, the thing that actually makes them really feel alive. And now the choice is yours. You got two paths. You can either stay small, keep consuming self-help content, watching YouTube videos like this, and dreaming, or you join in, you invest in yourself, you do the deep identity level work that'll get you moving, and take the steps to build a wildly successful business that really lights you up. And no matter what you choose, I trust your intuition to guide you exactly where you need to be. But I will say that there's nothing to lose in trying it out and seeing if it fits for you. The doors are open to join Scale Your Genius for $247 a month. So feel free to click the link below in the description and sign up. Oh, and one more thing, one last thing. This is my first YouTube video I've ever created, and I'd really appreciate it if you told me in the comments below what stood out for you in the video, what resonated with you, and also share the video with anyone you feel might really benefit from watching it. Peace and power to all of you.